Today, I'll show you how you can track the impact of product changes on the user journey with Datadog Experiments. That's coming up.
Hello, and welcome to This Month in Datadog, your monthly look at our latest features, product announcements, and more. This month, we have two spotlights. First, we look at the Datadog MCP Server, which allows you to give AI agents access to Datadog telemetry and resources. Second is Datadog Experiments, which helps you see the impact of product changes on the user journey. We also cover how you can accelerate Cloud SIEM investigations, remediate vulnerabilities in your codebase more easily, and explore Datadog with natural language. As always, links to everything we cover today are in the video's description. While you're there, subscribe to our channel, give us a like, and leave a comment, or send us an email with your questions and suggestions. And now, on with the show. Kicking things off is how you can speed up Cloud SIEM investigations. Today's SOC teams are stretched thin, and the volume of threats isn't slowing down, making it harder for analysts to keep up. That's where Bits AI Security Analyst can help. It can autonomously triage Cloud SIEM signals, conduct investigations, and surface clear recommendations for analysts to act on. In Cloud SIEM, you can filter signals to only show those that Bits AI Security Analyst has already investigated and classified. Open any signal and you get a summary of what happened, followed by Bits AI's full analysis and conclusion. From there, view the signal or take action directly. Create a case, archive the signal, run a workflow, declare an incident, and more. Bits AI Security Analyst is generally available. Next is a way to remediate vulnerabilities with less effort. AI-assisted development is helping teams generate more code than ever, but it can also mean more vulnerabilities. With Bits AI Dev Agent for Code Security, you can automatically generate fixes for vulnerabilities in your codebase and open PRs for review. When reviewing a vulnerability flagged by Datadog Static Code Analysis, you can generate a fix right from that view. For vulnerabilities that Bits AI has assessed as valid, a pre-generated fix is already available. From there, you can refine the proposed change, then create a PR, all without having to leave that interface. Check out Bits AI Dev Agent for Code Security today. And now, getting the information you need in Datadog when you need it just got a lot faster. With Bits Assistant, you can use natural language to search, visualize, and take action across Datadog. Access Bits Assistant as a full-page experience or in a sidebar on the page you're already working in. For example, you can ask Bits Assistant to find a dashboard for a service or to explore the latest cost monitor alert. Have it add an investigation summary to a notebook or create a new one with its analysis. Ask it to help your team onboard to Datadog and so much more. Sign up for the preview today to see what else Bits Assistant can do. That was just a sneak peek of the many features we released this month. For a full list, visit the link shown. This month, we're spotlighting Datadog MCP Server and Datadog Experiments. Here's Sumita to get us started.
Thanks, Jeremy. Hi, my name is Sumedha. I'm a senior product manager at Datadog. As AI coding agents become a de facto in the DevSecOps lifecycle, having access to production telemetry and observability tools is a non-negotiable when it comes to moving faster. Whether you're using popular coding agents or building your own, you want to make sure you can debug and ship fixes while staying in the context of your IDE or terminal and having access to source code, runbooks, and all of your organization's knowledge in one place. That's where the Datadog MCP Server comes in. Now generally available, the MCP Server gives popular AI agents such as Claude Code and Cursor and your own background agents secure, real-time access to your logs, metrics, traces, monitors, dashboards, and more. Setting up the Datadog MCP Server only takes around 30 seconds. In Claude Code, you can run one command and it installs the Datadog MCP Server and handles authentication through OAuth, no API keys to manage. Once you're connected, Claude has access to logs, metrics, traces, monitors, and a whole lot more. When you write prompts, the MCP server automatically figures out which API is right for the job. So let's start with something every developer deals with: a service throwing errors. Say I'm getting Slack messages from my support team, and they're having a lot of customers having issues adding their things to their cart. I want to figure out what's going on. Without leaving my editor or terminal, I can look through Datadog's telemetry like error logs and traces, and it immediately finds the root cause. From there, I can say, this looks good, and I think I'm ready to create a PR fix. With access to GitHub CLI, I can then create a PR fix. We can also take a look at whether there are cost optimization opportunities within our hosts, some of which might be underutilized. The Datadog MCP server can look through my host list and cost metrics and run an analysis. I've prompted Claude Code to give me a list of underutilized hosts from Datadog, and upon querying Datadog's cost metrics and hosts, I've summarized a list of possible cost savings. However, I don't just want to keep this information in my terminal. So I can also use the Datadog MCP server to create a Datadog notebook with the relevant graphs and evidence, which I can share with my managers, stakeholders, and teams. Inside the notebook is the same full analysis of the cost optimization opportunities that are available for my infrastructure. These are just a couple of use cases that you can accomplish with the Datadog MCP server. See for yourself how the Datadog MCP server can help accelerate your development and ops workflows by adding it to the agent of your choice today. Now, let's turn it over to Che.
Thanks, Sumedha. Hi, I'm Che. As development cycles continue to accelerate, it becomes increasingly important to understand the full impact every change has on end users. Launching new code can affect performance, shift user behavior, and move business metrics. Without rigorously measuring these impacts, it's impossible to understand if increased development output actually leads to better business outcomes. Datadog Experiments lets you see the causal impact your changes have on the full user journey. By integrating with feature flags, Datadog makes every rollout an opportunity to learn. And with Datadog's flagging MCP server, running an experiment is as simple as adding a sentence to your Claude prompt to put your change behind the flag. Once my feature is ready for production, I can turn the rollout into a rigorous A/B test with just a few clicks. First, I'll specify my primary metric and optional secondary metrics for my library of metrics. I can run a sample size calculation to understand how long to run my test. Or I can jump right to specifying my rollout plan. Now that my test is live, I can immediately start diving into session replays to see how real users are interacting with my new experience. I can also add a new metric at any time by clicking Add Metrics and then Create Metric. Here, I can build metrics based on product analytics and real user monitoring data, or even create warehouse native metrics using my own source of truth metrics in Snowflake and Databricks. What else can Datadog Experiments do? See for yourself by navigating to Datadog Product Analytics and start planning your tests today. Now, back to Jeremy.
A very special thanks to Sumedha and Che for joining us today. Before we log off, Dash 2026 is right around the corner, and I couldn't be more excited. Register today to learn how Datadog is advancing AI-powered observability and security. Early bird pricing ends soon, so don't wait to save your spot. And that wraps up today's episode. We'll see you next month.